when 8-time All-Star Nneka Ogwumike wrapped her arms around rookie Luisa Geiselsöder and smashed her to the hardwood.
Brown's gonna pull the trigger, and we got more contact down there.
Climate Pledge Arena froze in disbelief.
Nneka does not like it, and she is pushed by Quinterly. And we're gonna review everything here.
Was this the instant the WNBA's most trusted leader cracked and revealed a hidden fury? From the moment she laced up for the Stanford Cardinal, Nneka Ogwumike seemed built for greatness. The Texas-raised phenom graduated with a psychology degree, mastered post moves and public speaking in equal measure, and stormed into the 2012 draft as the #1 overall pick, then promptly won Rookie of the Year. In the seasons that followed, she racked up MVP honors, a 2016 championship-clinching putback that still loops on highlight reels, and the unofficial title of Madame President after players unanimously elected her to head the union. Sponsors flocked to her polished intellect. Teammates relied on her steady voice during the 2020 WNBA bubble when she FaceTimed league execs at 3 a.m. to fight for health protocols and social justice signage. But listen to this. Power has a price. Balancing labor talks, endorsement shoots, and a fresh relocation to Seattle meant brutal red-eye flights, 7 a.m. bargaining calls, and late-night film sessions that never made Instagram. Privately, she nursed a lingering ankle tweak and a stack of unpaid sleep debt. The league's younger stars grabbed magazine covers, while pundits wondered aloud whether the 34-year-old could still shoulder a franchise. The cracks were hairline thin, yet they spiderwebbed with every whispered, "Is she slowing down?" And on one oppressive July night in Dallas, under the glare of national cameras, everything she'd built with a decade of poise was poised to snap. It was a sticky July night in Dallas, the kind where the North Texas humidity clings to your lungs and the playoff math feels just as suffocating. College Park Center pulsed at capacity, the lower bowl tinted teal with Wings jerseys, while Seattle's bench exchanged anxious glances every time the scoreboard flashed a Storm turnover. Ogwumike had opened the game 3 for 9, scowling after each miss, and by late third quarter, the Wings were up 58-44 on the strength of rookie Luisa Geiselsöder's 14 points and 8 boards. Each time the German center muscled in for another putback, the broadcast crew, already hyping Luisa as a sleeper for most improved, cut to Nneka's face, noting the union president seems to be arguing with herself more than the refs tonight. Seattle's huddles turned frantic, assistant coaches drawing hurried arrows, teammates tapping Nneka's arm, begging for calm. The arena lights, already blazing, felt hotter still after a brief malfunction left one corner of the floor in shadow, an omen the Twitter jokesters would cite later. Ogwumike wiped sweat from her brow, flexed that sore ankle she never mentioned publicly, and lined up across Luisa for what looked like another routine post entry. But that's not all. Pressure has a way of detonating in real time. As the entry pass sailed in, Nneka locked both arms around Luisa's torso, pivoted, and whipped the rookie to the hardwood in one furious motion that drew an audible crack from the floorboards. Whistles shrieked like car alarms. The Wings bench erupted in disbelief, and 7,000 phones thrust skyward to capture the chaos. Commentators fell silent for a beat before Arturo Martinez finally blurted, "I have never seen Ogwumike snap like this." Trainers sprinted in, teammates formed a protective ring, and the Jumbotron froze on the stunned look in Luisa's eyes. Within seconds, slow-mo clips of the takedown flooded every social feed, and one word, "dismissed," began trending so fast it outran the game clock. The refs huddled, reran the tape twice, and wasted no time. A flagrant one plus an immediate ejection, the kind that leaves the scorer's table buzzing and the arena murmuring in disbelief. Seattle's coaching staff motioned her straight to the tunnel, heads bowed to avoid the barrage of camera flashes tracking every step. Ogwumike ripped the jersey from her shoulders before she even reached the locker room, a gesture that read less like regret and more like pent-up defiance. It gets worse. Dismissed didn't stop at the hardwood, it went viral in minutes. Beat reporters tweeted that league officials were already circling the clip for a possible multi-game suspension, while insiders whispered that Seattle's front office might sideline her longer to cool a growing PR wildfire. Sponsors began monitoring the situation, according to one anonymous marketing exec, and talk show pundits speculated whether this single meltdown could permanently dent her legacy as the union's polished diplomat. Outside, the scoreboard kept ticking, but inside the arena and across every screen, Nneka Ogwumike's spotless image was cracking in real time. 25-year-old Luisa Geiselsöder wasn't supposed to be the headline. She was the feel-good subplot, a German center who clawed her way from EuroLeague obscurity to earn a permanent Wings roster spot this season. In the week leading up to Dallas-Seattle, she'd posted back-to-back double-doubles, summoned chants of Luisa from the home crowd, and landed her first SportsCenter mention, billed as the league's newest matchup nightmare. But listen to this. One violent tumble instantly flipped her rising star arc into a medical question mark. Trainers rushed to help as she cradled her shoulder, yet the rookie waved them off, played through the pain, and even hit 2 free throws that stretched Dallas's lead. Post-game, reporters spotted her with an ice wrap the size of a backpack, and insiders claim she's headed for precautionary scans, though the Wings have kept the official report locked down tighter than a playoff playbook. Now, a player who should be celebrating a breakout season finds her timeline hijacked by a clip of herself getting slammed, retweeted millions of times. If the scans reveal even a minor strain, Dallas's playoff calculus changes overnight, and Luisa's sudden stardom becomes the latest casualty of Ogwumike's flashfire moment. Twitter, TikTok, and every WNBA subreddit lit up like a scoreboard the instant the clip hit the web. Within an hour, dueling hashtags, #SuspendedNeka, and #FreeNeka were trending worldwide, while slow-motion breakdowns of the takedown racked up millions of views. Courtside microphones caught Wings fans chanting "Kick her out," even as Storm diehards flooded comment sections with side-by-side edits of worse hits that never drew ejections. It gets crazier. Screenshots surfaced showing Nneka and Skylar Diggins-Smith quietly unfollowing teammate Jewel Lloyd weeks ago, fueling whispers of a fractured locker room that started long before Dallas. Anonymous insiders now claim heated group chat arguments over CBA strategy had already split veterans and rookies, and this on-court eruption merely gave the tension a face. Meanwhile, former players on talk shows warned that if the union president can lose her cool so publicly, owners might seize the moment to paint the entire players' movement as emotional and unruly. In less than 12 hours, Nneka's personal meltdown had snowballed into a league-wide referendum on power, loyalty, and who really controls the narrative. Long before that violent night in Dallas, Nneka's relationship with the spotlight had been complicated. Back in 2021, USA Basketball shocked fans by leaving the reigning league MVP off its Olympic roster, an omission sports writers called the biggest snub in modern women's hoops. Ogwumike swallowed the slight with a diplomatic smile, but insiders say she was crushed, pivoting to explore a possible switch to play for Nigeria, only after the USA door slammed shut. The reason this is happening, those quiet insults didn't vanish. They piled up like invisible weights on her shoulders. Every season since, younger stars grabbed magazine covers, while sponsors lowballed offers despite her all-time efficiency stats. Even her 2016 finals heroics often got reduced to a single lucky bounce on a putback, rather than the months of dominance that led there. Friends insist she vented privately about being praised in public, passed over in private, yet she kept the smile because a union president can't afford to look bitter. By 2025, that unbeaten facade was hairline cracked, non-stop CBA negotiations, a new city, fresh chemistry issues, and the lingering sting of being labeled too old for Team USA. Add one fiery rookie pushing her around the paint, and those years of suppressed resentment finally erupted in a flash. The smackdown the world keeps replaying on loop. League discipline tends to hit harder than any defender, and Ogwumike now stares down a potential fine in the 5-figure range, plus a multi-game suspension that Seattle's thin playoff margin can't spare. The Storm's front office is already juggling doomsday scenarios. Drop a couple of games in August, and their postseason hopes go from shaky to shattered overnight, all because their marquee veteran might be stuck in street clothes. But it gets worse. Every dollar lost on the court echoes twice as loud in the boardroom. Brands that once lined up to feature Nneka's polished image are suddenly evaluating their partnerships. Corporate speak for pulling ad buys if public sentiment sours another notch. Meanwhile, franchise owners eye the timing like hawks. With the next CBA showdown looming, one ill-timed meltdown by the union president becomes prime ammo to paint players as unstable and in need of tighter control. If the league's biggest stateswoman can't steer clear of controversy, skeptics argue, what hope is there for the rest of the locker room? And that question, hanging in every headline and whispered in every sponsorship meeting, may prove more damaging to Nneka's legacy than any suspension the WNBA can hand down. Legacy can shatter faster than a backboard, and Nneka Ogwumike now stands on a knife edge between legend and cautionary tale. Her every accolade, charity speech, and last-second game winner suddenly weighed against a single moment of fury. But listen to this. The fallout isn't confined to her resume. It's rippling through every corner of the league, from rookie contracts to billion-dollar broadcast renewals. If sponsors retreat and owners harden their stance during the looming CBA standoff, the very progress she's championed could stall, leaving younger players to pay the price for a storm they never summoned. So the question hangs, will this firestorm erase a decade of leadership? Or will Ogwumike turn the ashes into fuel, doubling down on the fight for players' rights and rewriting her ending in real time? The next suspension notice, medical report, or leaked text could decide which story the league tells for years to come. And you'd better believe everyone's watching, replay button poised.